Hello everyone, my name is Siruchi Rai. I am assistant professor at Rameshwaram Institute of Technology and Management, Lucknow. Today I am going to discuss emulsion part 2. In this part we will talk about the test for method of preparation and test for its identification. So let's start. One method of preparation of emulsion, and in previous lecture I have discussed about the emulsion, its type and type of emulsifying agent we use. Now how to make emulsion? Emulsion can be prepared by these methods. Number one is wet gum method, Drygum method, bottle method, and the last is also called as other method. In other method I have discussed soap method here, fine. This is the 4 type of method of preparation of an emulsion. So let's start with number 1, wet gum method. In wet gum method, it's a to make this type of emulsion, a stable preparation of fixed oil. Now here you should know the ratio of these three. तीन चीज़ें यूज़ करेंगे. Number 1 is oil, second is acacia and water to make an emulsion. So number 1, the ratio is 4 of oil, 2 of water, 1 of acacia. This is the ratio. 4 is to 2 is to 1, which means 4 parts of oil, 2 part of water and 1 part of acacia is used to make a wet gum method. Now how we will prepare this? For preparing wet gum method, 2 parts of water is added to 1 part of acacia. 2 part water लेना है and we have to add this water into acacia to make it wet. This is a wet gum method, so definitely the primary emulsion which will make is wet, in wet form में होगा. So now what you do, take this water and acacia in mortar and pestle. आपको mortar के अंदर water as well acacia दोनों को लेना है and you make a smooth paste and triturate करना है. Triturate का मतलब है you have to mix it. मिक्स करना है, उसको ब्रेक करना है पार्टिकल्स को एंड टिल द स्मूथ पेस्ट इज फॉर्म. जब तक एक स्मूथ पेस्ट नहीं बन जाता तब तक यू हैव टू मिक्स water and acacia together in a mortar. With the help of pestle you need to triturate the water and acacia. Then add oil. After making a smooth paste, जब ये smooth paste बन जाएगा you need to add a what? Oil. Then oil is added slowly with continuous trituration. अब आपको ये oil जो है, oil यहाँ पे क्या है, 4 parts of oil. So यहाँ पे आपको slowly have to add a oil drop by drop into this above. ये जो paste है, in this paste you need to add oil slowly by continuous trituration. Trituration आपको continuous यहाँ पे रखना है. Now you will get a cream. You need to mix these ingredients till you form a cream. जब तक cream नहीं बन जाती है, and this is called as primary emulsion. Now this is the primary emulsion. यहाँ तक क्या होगा? Primary emulsion. As I've already tell you about the primary emulsion and the secondary emulsion. कि primary emulsion क्या होता है? What is the secondary emulsion? हम already discuss about it. So this primary emulsion में जो पहली emulsion form होगा, that is the primary emulsion. So this is the first emulsion. Now you need to triturate for another 5 minutes. इस पूरी ऊपर वाली सोल्यूशन को, सॉरी इस क्रीम को हम अच्छे से ट्राइचुरेट करेंगे एंड देन वी ऐड द वाटर. रिमेनिंग अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर, जितना भी रिमेनिंग अमाउंट ऑफ वाटर होगा टू मेकअप द वॉल्यूम मेकअप का मतलब यहाँ पे होता है, फॉर एग्जांपल इफ़ आई टेल यू टू मेक 20 ml of emulsion. 20 ml of emulsion अगर आपको बनाना है, so you add the small 2 parts of water you added and to have to make the whole preparation after 20 ml. So अब 20 ml तक के लिए आपको जो remaining quantity होगा, for example आपने 2 parts water add किया, you have added the acacia, you have added the oil, you added the water and the quantity is 15 ml. Now you need to add 5 ml water more to make up the volume and make the whole formulation 20 ml. So that's a volume makeup. It's called the volume makeup. And now you will add water. This is the primary emulsion, and finally you will add water to this primary emulsion and continuously triturate, and you will get the emulsion by wet gum method. So in wet gum method, the basic the important point is you should know the ratio between the fixed oil, water and the acacia. That is 4:2:1 in case of wet gum method. Next is dry gum method. In this method, a primary emulsion of fixed oil, again fixed oil, water and acacia, but here again the ratio is 4:2:1, which means 4 is the oil, 2 part of water, 1 part of acacia. Clear? Now let's see how to make the emulsion by dry gum method. The first is oil is mixed with acacia. So यहाँ पे ये point you should know. In the previous method, we'll add water to the acacia, but in this dry gum method, we'll add oil in acacia. Acacia, the part of oil which is used is 4, and the water is 2 parts of water and 1 part of acacia, in which firstly you add 4 part of oil, 1 part of acacia in a dry mortar pestle. Here the word dry is written because this is a dry gum method. Then mortar pestle should be completely dry, and then you will do this method, because if the mortar pestle अगर वहाँ पे wet होगी, इसके अंदर water present होगा, तो ये method dry gum method नहीं बन पाएगा. It became the wet gum method, because here initially in a primary stage you do not need water. Here we'll add gum, acacia and oil together in the first part. Fine. Next you need to make a powder, make a complete fine powder, and then you will add the purified water added with the rapid titration. यहाँ पे rapidly आपको बहुत speed से आपको titration करना है, particle size को remove करना है. You have to mix the whole ingredients together, and this is called the primary emulsion. And finally, after this formation of primary emulsion, add other additives which is need to be added. अगर आपको other additives like preservative, coloring agent, flavoring agents, if you need to add to the emulsion, then आप वहाँ पे add कर सकते हैं in this stage. And then remaining quantity of water with the continuous titration is added to the above primary emulsion. इस primary emulsion के अंदर जितनी भी other quantities remaining quantities होंगी उनको हम add करेंगे and will make up the volume. And by this we will make a emulsion by using dry gum method. So here the important point you need to be noted by you is, here you initially you will take oil and mix with it the acacia. Dry gum method के अंदर we need to add oil with acacia initially. In wet gum method we will take water and acacia together initially. Right. Next is the bottle method. As the name bottle is there, so we will make this preparation in a bottle. हम इसको bottle में बनाएंगे and we will shake the bottle and mix the oil and water and make a emulsion. Here it's also known as modified dry gum method भी कहा जाता है इसको. Next is the ratio. Talking about the ratio, here the ratio is 3:2:2, or you will take 2:1:1, where 2 is the ratio of oil, then 1 is water and 1 is acacia. Then this type of emulsion is used to prepare emulsion as a low viscosity of volatile oil. Oils having a low viscosity, मतलब low thickness they having, the low thickness is the low viscosity. Low viscosity होती है जिन oils की, will use this method, the bottle method, to make an emulsion. So how to make this? Oil is mixed with acacia. Here initially oil is taken, oil and acacia is taken, they are mixing with each other by shaking. Now here titration is not there. Titration, we will do titration when we are using mortar and pestle, but now here we are using a bottle, therefore we need to shake it. We are shaking the bottle uniformly and mixing the oil and acacia together. Then add a measured quantity of water and uniformly shake the contents and make an emulsion. So this type of emulsion is bottle method. By bottle method you will make emulsion in bottle. Fine. The next method and the last method is the other method. In case of other method, the soap method is used. Soap method, I am talking about the soap method, there are other methods as well. In soap is formed by mixing equal volume of oil and an aqueous solution containing a sufficient amount of alkali. Aqueous solution जिसके अंदर alkalis already present है, will take the alkalis and mix the volume of oil into it and will make an emulsion. Emulsion means you need an oil phase and you need an aqueous phase together both. Next is this method is suitable for formation of oil in water type of emulsion or water in oil type of emulsion. You will make the both type of emulsions here by this method. Second is you need a blenders for making a soap by making emulsion by a soap method. You need blenders as well as homogenizers to mix the content together. Here blenders, for example, I have given one example of a homogenizer, which is Silverson mixer homogenizer. With the help of Silverson mixer homogenizer, we will make the water in oil type of emulsion or oil in water type of emulsion. Next, this is the method of preparations are over of emulsion. The next is test for identification. How you will test which type of emulsion it is, whether it is oil in water, water in oil type of emulsion. For that, the number one test is dilution test, dye test, conductivity test, fluorescence test and cobalt chloride test. These tests are used to identify which type of emulsion is there. Number one, starting with number one, the number one is dilution test. In dilution test, what you need to do is, for example, you having a oil in water type of emulsion and now you need to dilute. Dilute means you are adding something, you are diluting the, for example, if it's oil in water type of emulsion, if you're diluting it with the water, आप उसके अंदर water add कर रहे हैं या फिर you are adding the oil, which means you're diluting your emulsion. So in this test, emulsion is diluted with water. Here I've taken the example for oil in water type of emulsion. Similarly, you can also take this example for water in oil type of emulsions. Here this is if we dilute oil in water type of emulsion with water, अगर हम उसको water के साथ dilute करेंगे, then there is no phase separation. The emulsions remain as such जिस तरह से वो पहले था, fine. But if you dilute, diluting means if you are adding oil in this type of emulsion, which is oil in water type of emulsion, then you will get the phase separation. Clear? इसको standard मानिए, this is a standard emulsion, fine, which means oil in water type of emulsion, you are diluting it with the water, तो it's means similar. Similar आपको यहाँ पे diagram में दिख रहा होगा, it is similar. When अगर आप इसी ही same emulsion को dilute with the oil, आप dilute करते हैं oil के साथ, then what happens? It got a phase separation हो जाएगा. Phase separation means you will get the, you can easily see the water and oil are separating with each other. आपको एक अलग से phase दिखाई देगा, they are separate हो जाएंगे, fine. So यही आप similar method को example लेके water and oil के case में भी आप similarly show कर सकते हो. You can write water and oil, but in case of water and oil, when you are diluting it with oil, then it does not get separated out, तब वो phase separation नहीं होगा. So basically आपको यहाँ पे याद रखना है कि जब भी आपका जो continuous phase है, for example, this in case of water, oil in water, the water is in the continuous phase. यहाँ पे water क्या है? Continuous phase में है. Continuous phase वाला ही अगर आप जो solvent है उसके अंदर add कर रहे हो, then there is no phase separation. Phase separation वहाँ पे नहीं होगा. Clear? But in case when you're adding the dispersed phase as in diluting form, then your emulsion gets separated out. So this is the basic test you can identify for identifying which type of emulsion. Clear? The next is dye test. In this test, you are using a dye to identify the type of emulsion. The name of dye is scarlet red dye. Scarlet red dye is used to identify the type of emulsion. So basically it's scarlet red, which means it gives the red color. Now what you do is make a drop of an emulsion, place a drop of an emulsion on a microscopic slide. Firstly आपको क्या करना है, you need to add the scarlet red dye into your emulsion and take one drop of that emulsion onto a glass slide and observe under microscope. if you will see, if dispersed globules appears red and background is colorless, then it's oil in water type of emulsion, because it's easily for what happens. See, when you see in the slide, आप slide के अंदर जब इसको देखोगे तो आपको अगर जो ये dispersed globules हैं और red color के दिखाई देते हैं, that it means it's oil in water type of emulsion, because scarlet red dye is absorbed by oil. Oil इसको बहुत easily absorb कर सकता है, therefore जो भी आपके oil globules होंगे, they'll see, you can see them red, and your background is colorless. आपको जो ये background है वो बिल्कुल colorless होगा, which means वो क्या है, continuous phase में क्या है, water है, and this dispersed phase is the oil. So you can identify this is the oil in water type of emulsion. Next is conductivity test. Conductivity test, as you all know, water is a good conductor of electricity, whereas oil is non-conductor of electricity. Clear? So basically, if water is in the continuous phase, then it gives a positive or positive test for conductivity. Now, how we'll check this? What we do, we dip a pair of electrodes. हम electrodes की pairs को इस तरह से electrodes हैं, for example these are the electrodes having positive or negative charge, and here see, these are two electrodes, fine, and if bulbs glow, which means that means there is a water is in the continuous phase. अगर ये glow करने लगता है, then this is water, oil in water type of emulsion. जिसका मतलब क्या है, which means water is in the continuous phase. Water क्या है, continuous phase में है, and oil is in the dispersed phase. Fine. So similarly, if bulbs glow on passing electric current, the emulsion is oil in water type, because water is in the continuous phase, and water is a good conductor of electricity, therefore it gives a positive test for conductivity. So इस तरह से you can identify, for this you can identify the type of emulsion. Next is fluorescence test. Fluorescence test के लिए there are certain fixed oils होते हैं जो possess करते हैं fluorescence. Fluorescence का मतलब क्या है, एक bright light. You can identify, आप उनको identify कर सकते हैं with the more distance. आपकी तरफ एक बहुत luminescence light जो होती है वो आपको help करती है, so you can identify the substance. So fluorescence provide करते हैं, but they provide fluorescence when you observe that compound into the under the UV radiation. जब आप UV radiations के अंदर उनको देखेंगे, then you identify this is the oils. So certain fixed oils are there, we're having a fluorescence when you observe them under the UV radiations. So UV radiations के अंदर अगर आप उनको देखेंगे, then you identify this is the oil or not. So similarly, what you need to do is you will take a emulsion लेंगे, and we'll see that emulsion under the UV radiation. आपको UV light के अंदर ही देखना पड़ेगा उनको. When you see under UV radiations, आप UV light के अंदर उनको देखते हैं, and you see the fluorescence, वहाँ से fluorescence आ रही है globules में से, then you can say it's a which type of emulsion, which is the water in oil type of emulsion, because if what यहाँ पे क्या है, water dispersed phase है, now oil is in the continuous phase. Oil continuous phase के अंदर होगा, then if it having a fixed oil, if it is a fixed oil, then it gives you a fluorescence under the UV radiation. So UV radiation के case में के अंदर आपको this is for example इस तरह का emulsion है, fine. ऑयल जो है continuous phase में है, so ये अगर आपको यहाँ पे fluorescence provide होती है, then you can say this is the water in oil type of emulsion. If you're not able to see any fluorescence, then it is water in oil type of emulsion. So this is how you can check the fluorescence, check the type of emulsion with the help of fluorescence test. Next is the cobalt chloride test. In this test, what you need to do is filter paper is soaked in cobalt chloride solution. अब यहाँ पे क्या करना है, कोबाल्ट क्लोराइड सोल्यूशन को एक फ़िल्टर के अंदर, एक फ़िल्टर पेपर लेंगे, विल टेक फ़िल्टर पेपर, उस सोल्यूशन के अंदर को फ़िल्टर पेपर को सोक करेंगे फॉर अ टाइम, फॉर अ वाइल, एंड देन विल व्हाट वी डू, विल डिप दैट फ़िल्टर पेपर, जो यहाँ पे फ़िल्टर पेपर आपने सोक किया है इमर्शन के अंदर, उस फिल्टर पेपर को हम क्या करेंगे, अब डिप कर देंगे इनटू द इमर्शन, बिकॉज बेसिकली वी वांटेड टू आइडेंटिफाई द टाइप ऑफ इमर्शन। सो हम आइडेंटिफाई करने के लिए विल डिप दैट फिल्टर पेपर इनटू द इमर्शन एंड ड्राई। आपको एक बार उसके अंदर डिप करने के बाद क्या करना है, इमल्शन के अंदर डिप करने के बाद यू नीड टू ड्राई दैट फिल्टर पेपर. If your filter paper's color change, now color change from blue to pink, if it's blue to pink, then turns pink from blue, pink हो जाता है from blue color, then it's a water, oil in water type of emulsion. तो वो कौन सा emulsion होगा, oil in water type of emulsion, because in if water is in the continuous phase, जब अगर water continuous phase के अंदर होगा तभी आपको जो ये pink color है ये मिलेगा, because it's get reacted with the cobalt chloride solution. वाटर एंड कोबाल्ट क्लोराइड सोल्यूशन के साथ जो एक रिएक्शन होगा दैट गिव्स द पिंक कलर. सो इफ वाटर इज इन द कॉन्टिन्यूस फेज देन ओनली यू विल गेट द पिंक कलर फॉर द ऑफ द फिल्टर पेपर. क्लियर? एंड दिस इज वाइस वर्सा फॉर अदर्स. सो आप इन सारे ही टेस्ट को, जैसे मैंने आपको वाटर इन ऑयल के लिए बताया है, तो वैसे ही इसको ऑयल इन वाटर के लिए अपने आप इसके बारे में लिख सकते हैं. Clear? So this is about the fluorescence test. So next we'll have a brief revision about these methods. चलिए, method of preparation के अंदर number 1 I will revise the methods. Number 1 is wet gum method, dry gum method, bottle method and the soap method. So wet gum method के अंदर आपको क्या याद रखना है, you need to learn fixed oil ratio, water ratio and the AKtU. फिक्स ऑयल का क्या रेशो लेना है, ऑयल का क्या रेशो लेना है, एंड वाटर का क्या रेशो लेना है. एंड इन केस ऑफ वेट गम मेथड आपको ये याद रखना है कि यू एड फर्स्टली यू नीड टू टेक द वाटर, आप वाटर को लोगे एंड AKtU लोगे इन फर्स्टली आपको, कि दिस इज़ अ वेट गम मेथड. ड्राई गम मेथड के अंदर द रेशो इज सेम बट यू नीड टू टेक ऑयल फर्स्ट एंड वाटर आफ्टरवर्ड्स. बस यही डिफरेंस आपको याद रखना है. नाउ द 2 parts of water you take and 1 part of AKtU and take a mortar pestle. Mortar pestle के अंदर you need to mix them, titrate them and you form a primary emulsion. Firstly here you need to make the smooth paste and then you form a smooth cream by adding a quantity of oil into the above solution. अब आप सोल्यूशन के अंदर जब हम ऑयल के ड्रॉपलेट्स को ऐड कर देंगे तो क्या होगा, स्मूथ पेस्ट से यू विल गेट दिस स्मूथ क्रीम. यहाँ पे स्मूथ क्रीम फॉर्म हो जाएगी. देन आपको क्या करना है, फाइनली वॉल्यूम मेकअप करना है. वॉल्यूम मेकअप करेंगे यहाँ पे इसके साथ, वाटर के साथ आपको वॉल्यूम मेकअप करना है बाय मेकिंग द वॉल्यूम एंड यू विल गेट द इमल्शन बाय वेट गम मेथड. Similarly, in the dry gum method, the ratio is same. 4:2:1 is the ratio for same fixed oil, water and AKtU. But here you need to take the oil first. आपको oil सबसे पहले लेना है and you will mix the oil and AKtU together. But here you need to very strict about that mortar pestle should be dry. वो बिल्कुल dry होना चाहिए. There should not be any water droplets on the mortar. So उसके लिए आपको then only you can make the emulsion by dry gum method. Now after mixing oil and AKtU together in a mortar and uniformly distributed the powder, form a powder, and then you will add the water and make a primary emulsion. Primary emulsion now here when you are adding the water into the ऑयल एंड AKtU आपको बहुत रैपिडली उसे मिक्स करना है. अगर आप उसे रैपिडली मिक्स नहीं करेंगे देन देयर आर चांसेस कि जो वाटर है एंड ऑयल है वो आपस में अच्छे से मिक्स ना हो, फेस सेपरेशन आपको वहाँ पे मिल सकता है. देयरफॉर आपको बहुत ही स्पीडली आपको उसको क्या करना है, मिक्स करना है कंटेंट को. Then what you need to add, finally you need to add all the additives, जो भी अदर additives आप ऐड करना चाहते हैं सारी चीज़ें आप यहाँ पे ऐड कर सकते हैं. You cannot add the additive before the primary emulsion form. Primary emulsion form होने से पहले you not add any additives. Clear? Afterwards in the final stage you can add the additives and add the remaining quantity of water and make the emulsion with a continuous titration. Then bottle method. In bottle method we'll make this type of emulsion in a bottle, and here ratio change, यहाँ पे ratio change होता है, that is 3:2:1, or you can take 2:1:1. Fine. And here initially you will take the oil and AKtU together in a bottle. Now here titration is not there, there is a shaking, because हम इसको bottle में बना रहे हैं, so वहाँ पे हम titrate नहीं कर सकते. So here we will do the shaking. By shaking we will make the emulsion. We will take oil and AKtU together and mix in the bottle, and finally make up the volume with the water. नेक्स्ट इज द सोप मैथड. दिस मैथड इज यूज फॉर वाटर हैविंग अल्कली. सिर्फ उन्हीं के लिए हम सोप वाटर का यूज़ करेंगे जैसे जिस वाटर्स के अंदर अल्कली एक्वा सोल्यूशन के अंदर अल्कलीज प्रेजेंट होंगे. तो इक्वल अमाउंट ऑफ ऑयल ले लेंगे एंड एक्वा सोल्यूशन लेंगे, उसको आपस में मिक्स कर देंगे. एंड दिस टाइप ऑफ इमल्शन इज यूज टू फॉर्म द बोथ टाइप ऑफ इमल्शन, वाटर इन ऑयल और ऑयल इन वाटर टाइप ऑफ इमल्शन. वेरियस ब्लेंडर्स विल यूज. हियर आई गिव द एग्जांपल फॉर Silverson mixer homogenizer. Now test for identification. Dilution test. Let's talk about the dilution test. Dilution test के अंदर मैंने आपको यहाँ पे एग्जाम्पल दिया है ऑयल इन वाटर टाइप ऑफ इमल्शन. आप यहाँ पे वाटर इन ऑयल टाइप ऑफ इमल्शन का एग्जाम्पल भी ले सकते हैं. सिमिलरली यहाँ पे क्या करेंगे, इसको स्टैंडर्ड मारेंगे, मतलब आपके पास ये इमल्शन जो है फॉर्म हो गया है. एंड नाउ इफ़ यू डाइल्यूटेड, आप इसके अंदर अगर वाटर को ऐड करते हो, देन यू विल गेट, you do not get any changes into the emulsion. कोई भी emulsion के अंदर change नहीं आएगा. But when you are adding oil से dilute करते हैं, then it got the phase separation. यहाँ पे phase separation हो जाएगा. So with this you can identify the type of emulsion. Next is dye test. dye के अंदर हम स्कारलेट रेड डाई को यूज़ करते हैं, उसको हम माइक्रोस्कोप के अंदर देखेंगे. अगर उसके अंदर रेड कलर के ड्रॉपलेट्स आपको दिखाई देते हैं, then it is positive for the oil in water type of emulsion. What is a good conductor of electricity? If gives the positive test, then it is oil in water type of emulsion. Next is fluorescence test. Under UV radiation you will get the fluorescence of certain fixed oils, so it means that is water in oil type of emulsion. And the last is cobalt chloride. In this you will dip the filter paper in the cobalt chloride test, and you will see the pink color. If it turns pink from blue से pink color का अगर हो जाता है, then it is a positive test for oil in water type of immersion. So this is the references from where I have taken the content. This is all about today. Thank you.